Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am back again, finally. I also got a new camera, so I hope that the quality of my videos from now on is like a lot better than my last videos. Today's video is all about Catholic dating. This is a topic that I am very passionate about. I want to give you guys my best tips and advice for finding that special someone. I was talking to some of my friends that are Catholic singles, and we were just talking about how difficult it really is in the Catholic dating pool. In the secular world, it's so easy to get into a relationship with someone. In the Catholic community, for some reason, it's really hard to find that person. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not a married woman yet, but this advice is all from my own experience, my own observations, and what I have learned along the way. Number one, physical appearance matters. The way that you dress and the way that you present yourself matters so much. Physical appearance is not everything, but it is incredibly important. Your physical appearance will communicate to other people of what you think of yourself, how much you respect yourself, and the values that you hold. You want to be able to leave a good impression on people, and for you to walk into a room and for people to wonder who you are, or to think to themselves, wow, that person is attractive. In order to look good on the outside, you need to start from the inside. So this goes for both men and women. Eat healthy and work out. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be a size 0 or that you need to be absolutely shredded, but you do need to be healthy. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. You need to be living a healthy lifestyle, because if you cannot take care of yourself now, what makes you think that you're going to be able to take care of somebody else and eventually your own children? Your future spouse and your children deserve a parent that is physically fit and that can show up as their best selves for their family. Especially for women, for some reason, we have so many issues today when it comes to fertility, and the infertility rates are really high. And so I think that it's just so important for us especially to prioritize our health and to focus on what we are putting into our body. Eat whole foods, eat a healthy diet, eat a balanced diet. And to the men, if you are not physically fit, how are you going to be able to protect your wife and your children? The state of your physical health will communicate a lot to other people on where your priorities lie and what you value and what you think your future family deserves. Also, being physically fit is simply just attractive because it shows that you're healthy and that you take care of your body. Also, just be hygienic. I know it sounds like the bare minimum, but it's so important. Make sure that you have clean hair, clean teeth, and clean skin. Be well groomed and smell good. Smelling good will get you a lot of points. Have a good sense of style. So find what style suits you best and find which colors complement you the best. So for me, for example, I figured out that lighter colors look better on me as opposed to darker colors. For me, I love wearing white or cream or, light blue or light pink versus harsh colors like orange or purple do not flatter me like at all. Wear clothes that flatter your body type. I know that it is so easy and convenient to just walk out in a normal pair of jeans and a t-shirt, but your appearance isn't elevated, and honestly there's nothing special about wearing jeans and a t-shirt. I'm also not saying to go out and wear a suit or a super fancy dress all the time, but I am saying that it's important for you to look put together and that you actually have a sense of style. Honestly, I don't know why in our society it is so normalized to dress sloppy. I mean, even when you go to the grocery store, I think that you should still put effort into your appearance. When you are put together, you leave a good impression on people and you catch the attention of other people as well. And this isn't to say that you need to be super vain about it or wear, tons and tons of makeup or take hours getting ready. But what I am saying is to elevate your appearance and to look put together. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Another piece of advice that I have for women specifically is to drop the handkerchief. What I mean by that is that if there is a man that you are interested in and that you want to pursue you and to be interested in you as well, you need to give off little hints. And I can speak from experience when I tell you this works. So when you are passing by that person that you're interested in, smile, be pleasant, say hello or good morning as you're passing by them. Make eye contact, but obviously not like creepy maybe eye contact, you know, show that you're interested. And if you and this person are already friends, let's say you guys are having a conversation, another way of showing that you're interested and that you like this person is you not leaving that conversation. A lot of women say, oh, men don't pursue anymore, they don't show that they're interested anymore, but we actually have a role to play in that as well. We need to pave the way and show the man that we're also interested so that they can then make that decision. Okay, I'm gonna ask this girl out because she seems really pleasant, she seems interested in me, I'm gonna see where it goes. Because if you're just cooped up in a corner of the church and you're not talking to anybody and you have a mean face on, I don't know if a lot of guys are gonna be like, she looks approachable, I'm gonna ask her out. You just gotta look friendly and drop a few hints here and there if you want to be pursued. Now for the men, when it comes to asking a woman out, one of the biggest tips that I have for you guys is please don't be creepy. I have experienced this way too often, and a lot of Catholic women will be able to tell you this as well, but a lot of Catholic men, when they ask us out on dates, it can be really, really, really intense. It's so intense to the point where sometimes we feel as though if we say yes to this date, then that means we're saying yes to marrying this person. You don't want to come off that way. You don't want to come off as like super intense or creepy or like extreme. So when you're trying to pursue a woman that you are interested in, take it slow. If you're not friends with her already, try to befriend her first. Because I do think that, you know, asking a girl out right away before you've had any sort of interaction can also come off as like intense or like overbearing a little bit. So try to get to know her a little bit before you actually state your intentions and ask her out on a date. There was a guy that I had met at my church. He was interested in me, but instead of asking me out right away, he actually got to know me first before stating his intentions, in which I thought it was really nice because we were able to get to know each other as friends first before we went on any dates. So I would say going that route relieves a lot of pressure off of the woman. And when you do finally ask her out, it doesn't have to be complicated. All you need to say is, hey, I think that you're really pretty or beautiful, whatever you want to say, and be like, I'm really interested in getting to know you more. Can I take you out on a date? And please use the word date. Be intentional. Don't use the words hang out. That's silly. Another piece of advice that I think is very important is just be reassuring to the girl that if it doesn't work out, that's okay. Be like, I just want to get to know you more, and you know, if you think that we're better off as friends after that, then that's okay. But I want to see where it goes. Dating is a process. You're literally just getting to know each other more. So be friends, be intentional, be sweet, and be honest and straightforward. And also, dates don't have to be complicated, especially if you're just getting to know the person. Like if it's just the beginning stages of the dating process. I personally think that simple dates like going out for coffee and taking a walk is really nice, but also doing fun things together as well is really important. So things like ice skating or maybe even doing an escape room together, and have fun with it. Enjoy the process. Dating does not equal marriage. Going on one date does not mean that you're going to get married to this person. Literally, the whole point of dating is to figure out whether or not you do want to marry this person or if you don't want to marry this person. Don't put too much pressure on it. It should be fun and it should be enjoyable. This one's pretty obvious, but you gotta put yourself out there. You can't stay cooped up at home, as comfortable as it is. You do have to go out and be social and get to know other people. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone, and that's okay. Don't get me wrong, I am pretty introverted myself. I love to stay home. I love to just watch a movie and not go out late at night and party it up. But sometimes in order to find that person, you need to step out of your comfort zone and you need to be willing to get to know other people. I hate to break it to you, but God is not just going to magically put that person right in front of you without you putting any effort into finding that person. Be willing to try new things, and if you are introverted, I know that it can be like a little bit of an intimidating process, but I can tell you that it is worth it and the experience is worth it. You have no idea of where it could go. You could end up meeting your spouse. You've got to be willing to give it a shot. Another big tip that I have for Catholic dating is you have to work on yourself before you even meet that person. And in order to find the right person, you have to be the right person first. If you want to find somebody that is kind and virtuous, hardworking, and a devout Catholic, then you need to be those same things as well. I really do think that you are what you attract. You know, if you're going out late at night and drinking or doing drugs or just not living a godly lifestyle, you're not going to be able to find a good Catholic spouse, because that's just not the lifestyle that they live, and that's not the type of person that they want to marry. You gotta get your priorities in order, and you always have to put God first. If God is not first in your life, if you cannot sustain a relationship with God, what makes you think that you're going to be able to sustain a relationship with somebody else who is just as imperfect and has weaknesses and struggles like you and I? You have to be realistic. And if God is not at the center of your life, you're going to have trouble putting him in the center of your relationship as well. Which, if God is not in the center of your relationship, it is doomed to crumble. So develop your spirituality, try to go to mass whenever you can, go to adoration, receive the sacraments, go to confession. You really want to become your best self for the good of yourself, but especially for your future spouse and your future children, your future family. You also have to be aware of your own shortcomings and your own struggles and weaknesses right now, because I'm telling you, in a relationship and in a marriage, those things aren't hidden. If anything, those weaknesses and things that you struggle with are maximized. All of your past traumas or things that you struggle with on a daily basis are going to come out, and they're going to be exposed whether you like it or not. And I'm not saying that you have to be perfect or you have to be fully healed before you enter a relationship. No, that's not the case. What I am saying is that you need to be willing to work on your own imperfections right now so that you can have effective communication and a healthy relationship. Be aware of your own red flags. If you struggle with communication, or if you struggle with regulating your emotions or being honest, work on those things right now. And you can start working on those things with your friends or your family. Practice at home, work on yourself already. The next piece of advice that I have is don't lower your standards. And by standards, I mean don't compromise your Catholic faith for somebody that doesn't share the same values and morals as you. I would say don't just look for somebody that will put up with your standards. Look for somebody that is willing to meet those standards. Look for somebody that wants to go to mass with you. Look for somebody that wants to pray the rosary with you, that wants to wait until marriage to have sex for you. If they are only Catholic by name and they're not actually living out their Catholic faith, you don't need to be dating that person. That person is not marriage material, and I can promise you that they are not going to help get you to heaven. I will say though that there is a difference with somebody who is willing to work on something with you versus somebody who doesn't want to work on things at all with you. So for example, if you explain to a guy that you're in a relationship with, hey, I really want to wait until marriage. This is something that's really important to me, and this is what the church teaches, and I want to do that. If the guy is like, I don't completely understand it, but for you, because that's what you want and that's what makes you happy and that's what you think is best for our relationship, then I am willing to do that for you. I think that shows that that person is willing to sacrifice for you and is willing the good of you, and isn't just focused on what they want. Versus if a guy is like, oh, I don't want to wait till marriage, why do we have to do that? I don't want to do that. You can leave that relationship because that person does not want what's best for you. Don't compromise on the things that are most important to you, because it is way better for you to wait a long time and then meet that someone that God has in store for you versus you settling and rushing into marriage and having a miserable marriage for the next 50, 60 years. The wait is worth it, and sticking to your standards is so worth it as well. You need to understand your worth as a person, and don't just settle for the bare minimum. When it comes to physical standards though, this is a problem that I have seen quite a lot, especially on social media. A lot of girls say things like, oh, I only want a man that is over 6 feet tall and that has green eyes and makes 6 figures a year. And while I think that those are good goals to have, you want somebody that you're attracted to and that can provide, you can't limit yourself to a specific type of person, and you shouldn't put God's love story for you in a box. You shouldn't put that person in a box and try to make them fit a criteria that you've created in your head. Also, I think the percentage of men that are over 6 feet tall and that make a lot of money is pretty low. I I don't think it's that high. I think it's good to look for a man that takes care of himself and that can provide, but he doesn't need to be a millionaire or making 6 figures a year. I think that as long as a man can provide a roof over his head and is capable of taking care of a wife and, you know, future children, then that's great. That's a good thing. But having unrealistic standards can hinder us from meeting that person. And trust me, I know that there are people that think this, but God does not want you to marry somebody that you're not attracted to. Why would he punish you like that? He's not gonna do that. Especially as women, we need to be more open. We need to let Jesus take the wheel. Let God write your love story and don't try to take control of everything, because you can't be in control of everything. So don't lower your standards, but also don't just completely write off people without getting to know them first. I think if a guy asks you on a date, you know, you should go and see where that goes. You should give him a chance. Again, you're not obligated to say yes to anything. If you really don't want to go on a date with a guy, you don't have to. Don't put that pressure on yourself. But if you are looking for a spouse and somebody happens to be interested in you, you have to see whether or not it'll work. Because I would rather that you try and see if it works rather than you completely stepping back, saying no, and not having known where it could have gone. A big part of dating is taking that chance and taking that leap of faith, because we'll never really know exactly, even when you're getting married, you never really know if that's the person. Love is a choice, and part of finding that person is being courageous and making decisions. So be open to people. You never really know what God has in store for you and where things could go. Now, where do I find a spouse? There are different places that you can go, but I think especially in the Catholic dating world, you gotta look in the right places. Now, don't get me wrong, you could totally meet your spouse in like a grocery store or something like that, but these are just some places that I know where people have met and they've gotten married. So if you're in college, you can visit the Newman Center that you have on campus. Usually every college has one, and these are filled with young adults, and it's about building a Catholic community, so you get to meet all different kinds of people. You can also get involved with the young adult group that you may have at your church. That is also a great way to meet people. And get yourself involved with ministry. If there's one that you're interested in at church, get involved with that and be active. Put yourself out there. Get involved in church activities. You really never know who you could meet from there. And of course, as a last resort, you can make a Catholic dating profile and look online. But I will say that it's a lot more special, I think, if you meet somebody in person first. But if you're all out of options and you really don't know where else to look, then online isn't a bad place to go look for a spouse. So those are all the tips that I have for you guys today. If you guys do want a part 2, let me know in the comment section below. I would also love to know what piece of advice you guys have for when it comes to Catholic dating. I really hope that this video helped you guys. This is just based off of my experience. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys.